Hello friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy CowboyJobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Because without you guys, this would be nothing. I mean, seriously, this would be nothing. I can't thank you guys enough for your responses, and the one thing you can really count on in the Jobu Sports Report is that Jobu will need a refill. As a matter of fact, I think I'm stealing Jobu's rum on this one. Sorry, Jobu. I've gotten a bunch of comments from people who are asking about what is the deal with the voodoo doll. Why do you have it? You know what you're talking about with football and things. The voodoo doll, you don't need. I mean, seriously. Well, there's a whole story behind it. And if you've ever seen the movie Major League, then you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Pasa there, Pedro.
Bats. The RC. I cannot hit curveball. Straight ball, I hit it very much. Curveball. That's our friend. I asked Jobu to come. Take fear from bats. I offer him cigar and rum. He will come.
You know, you might think about taking Jesus Christ as your savior instead of fooling around with all this stuff.
Shit, Harris. Jesus. I like him very much. But he no help with curveball.
You trying to say Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?
Okay, Harris, let's not start a holy war here.
Wouldn't leave it rum sitting around out here with this group.
It's very bad. You steal Jobu's rum. He's very bad.
Okay, so that's the origins of Jobu. So we have a Dallas Cowboy version of it. And so what I did is I made him in 2012. And a lot of people are saying that the reason why the Dallas Cowboys aren't winning is because of that voodoo doll. Well, I can't honestly say that Jobu has done anything positive for the Dallas Cowboys. All I can say is that Jobu has actually had a lot of good things happen around him. To give you an example, let me show you this clip right here, because we shot this at AT&T Stadium in Tony Romo's locker.
What the hell? This is Jobu. My Cowboys are very good in September and October. December, not so much. I asked Jobu to come. I give him rum and cigars to wake up December for my Cowboys. You ought to think about Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior. Jesus, I like him very much too, but he no help my Cowboys in December. I think maybe he's angry about the television blocking his view. I'd watch that rum if I was you. It is very bad to steal Jobu's rum. Very bad. Jobu needs a refill.
So that was done in 2014 in the summertime. Now, what's interesting about that is you're not supposed to actually touch the lockers. You're not supposed to sit on them or anything else. But the security guys are just kind of watch me do that whole thing. Now, here's where it gets interesting. You remember the 2014 season. That season that Tony Romo had the best of his career. Now, again, I can't say that Jobu had anything to do with it. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Well, something else that was interesting that happened that summer. I met Sean Lee, and he actually asked Jobu to keep him healthy. And since that time, Sean Lee has gotten to 2 Pro Bowls and has stayed healthy. Let's look at that clip real quick.
Hello, Sean. CowboyJobu.
Hey, Jobu, man, I need you to keep me in the 50. What do you want me to sign on the jersey?
Sign the jersey if you could.
Yeah.
Got Tony
So again,
yesterday.
I can't say it had anything to do with Jobu. All I can just say is good things happen around him. Because even with Charles Haley, I used to do blogs. You know, I used to write them and everything else, but the only problem is I just don't have enough time, because by the time I get my thoughts down, get my wife to edit them, get them uploaded and everything else, I just don't have the time. Doing these videos is so much easier because I can just go out, say what's on my mind, boom, upload it, and it's done. Well, I had wrote a blog, and actually it was a really good one, I thought. It was about Tony Mandrich, who was going to be the offensive lineman that was going to reinvent offensive linemen. And he ended up being a bust. And then I compared it to Charles Haley, who was a fourth-round draft pick out of a small school, JMU, ends up being a Hall of Famer. So I said, basically you can't go by where somebody is drafted. What's interesting is Charles Haley read that. Charles Haley changed his Facebook profile picture to Jobu. And if you go to his Facebook page right now, you'll see a picture of Jobu. Now, I don't know how many of you guys know the whole story behind Charles Haley. He was the only player with 5 rings until Tom Brady actually got 5 now. But he had been a finalist for the Hall of Fame, I believe 6 years in a row, and hadn't gotten in. Well, here's where it's interesting. After he changed Jobu's profile picture to Jobu, we were actually at the Super Bowl. We were outside the venue when they announced the Hall of Fame class. Now, again, I can't say that Jobu had anything to do with these things. They're probably just coincidences. But do you really want me to get rid of him and risk it being right and finding out the hard way? So, friends, as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Because without you guys, this would be nothing, seriously. And if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to click on the picture over here of Sean Lee and Jobu, so that way you can be part of the mojo.